and welcome to day 10 of Move for Mind. You're 10 days deep and that's a third of the way through. So today we're going to be moving into this theme of activation and engagement. And I don't know how to put this politely, but we're going to be using your butt. So grab some blocks if you want blocks nearby, and we're going to begin in Tadasana in standing pose today. Our mountain pose. So starting with your feet hips distance apart and centering yourself on those four corners of the feet. So if you need to take a few circles here to find yourself, please feel free to do so. You should be able to dance the toes away from the floor, so we're not gripping with the toes. So your weight is even in all four corners of the feet, engaging the calf muscles, engaging the thighs, and almost like you've got your tailbone coming down towards the floor, so if you do have a slight tilt in the tailbone here, that's fine. Engaging the navel, so navel back, belly to spine. And really stacking each vertebrae on top of the other, almost like you're trying to find a bit more space in between each vertebrae. Inhaling the shoulders up and away from the ears and down the back, so the palms spiral out towards the front of the room. Slightly bringing your chin back. Gaze can be steady on one point ahead, or if you would like to close the eyes or lower the gaze here, please feel free to do so. But it's almost as if there is a string from the crown of your head attaching you to the ceiling. Really long with the body, but super switched on and super engaged. Everything is working here. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more like this, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just allowing yourself a few minutes of quiet here. A few moments to arrive into the space, to arrive onto the mat. And just seeing if you can let everything that's happened so far today go. Leave it at the door. Leave it away from this space. Leave it away from the mat. There is nothing to do with that now. Whatever's coming up in the rest of the day, the rest of the week, well, we have no control over that. So it has no purpose here either. All you have to do for the next 20 minutes or so is really just focus on yourself. Check in with your body, check in with your mind, and keep breathing. If you just stayed with me and breathed for the next 20 minutes, that's a really impressive yoga practice. Just allowing yourself to be with your breath. You will have nailed it. Taking one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. If your eyes are closed, opening them with a soft gaze. And we're ready to begin. Inhaling both arms above the head, gaze follows thumbs. Taking hold of the left wrist with the right hand. On the next inhale, really reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, side bending over to the right. Sending the hips out towards the left. Gaze towards the ceiling if you can, spiraling the rib cage up. Inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, reaching both hands up, taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Exhale, side bending over the left. Maybe spiraling the rib cage towards the ceiling, maybe gaze lifts towards the ceiling, but really sending the right hips out towards the right. Inhale, coming back into center. Releasing the hands and keeping the hands shoulder distance apart. Not hunching the shoulders up, keeping shoulders down away from the ears. And on your next inhale, coming high onto the balls of the feet, finding tippy toes. Now really engaging through the calf muscles, engaging through the quadriceps, keeping that navel in towards the spine. And don't worry if you wobble here. Wobbling is where we learn. If we never wobble, we never learn. So really finding that engagement, really reaching the hands up towards the sky. This is fantastic prep for handstand. Ooh. Keeping that navel in so we're not popping the bum out, we're not flowing through the ribs, we're keeping everything tucked in, everything is engaged. Inhale. Exhale, sinking the hips down, bending the knees, coming into our Utkatasana, our chair pose, keeping the hips distance apart this time. Cheeky self-assist, bringing hands to the thighs, pushing hands down into the thighs. Can you sink a little bit deeper into your hips? Now, if you do have that block handy, taking hold of the brick, you want I'm not very good with shapes, the long side, so you've got it long basically. Pressing both hands into the brick and then extending the brick so you can look at it in front of your face. This will tell you how much engagement you should have in your arms right now. Can you sink a bit deeper into the hips? If you do have a wooden brick, this makes it a lot more challenging. Mine is super light, which is technically cheating, but that's fine. Inhale and exhale. Bringing the brick down if you have it. Inhale, can you find that same engagement without the brick? Exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. You have got this. Exhale, folding over the legs, finding your forward fold. Oh, that feels good. Uttanasana. Maybe bending one knee, bending the other. Keeping a soft bend in both knees. Bringing left hand in front of the face or to a brick. Deep bend in the left knee. Inhaling, right arm comes up towards the sky. Gaze follows fingertips. Taking that twist. If you do want to bring the right hand behind the back, opening the shoulder further, please feel free to do so. Inhale. Exhale, bringing right hand to replace the left. Nice deep bend in that right knee. Inhaling, left arm lifts. Maybe left hand comes behind the back of the body, nestling into the inside of that right thigh. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, finding your forward fold. Maybe taking hold of opposite elbows. Maybe taking that ragdoll from side to side. Keeping the hips stable. Crown of the head down towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale, releasing the arms. And then walking the feet so the toes are pointing diagonally off from the side, and then sinking the hips down, finding your Malasana squat. I think that sounded like the thing from Harry Potter, the alleyway. Some words I just don't get. Bringing palms into the heart center, finding that prayer. Now this might look different on you. Your heels might be away from the floor, your hips may be higher, which actually makes this considerably harder. But if your hips can come low, bringing your hips low. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, sending the arms out parallel to the floor, and slowly bringing the hips up, pausing at that halfway point. Oh, hello quadriceps, I feel you. Palms of the hands facing down. Inhale. Exhale, coming all the way up, bringing hands above the head. Then on your next inhale, really stretching up. Exhale, bringing the prayer back through heart center. A very wide-legged Tadasana. Really finding your structure, finding your stability here. Inhale, bringing the hands back up so they're parallel with the floor. I think you know where we're going here. Sinking the hips back on the exhale. Low, pause. Finding that halfway point down, engaging through the glutes, bringing the navel in towards the spine. Gaze is out directly in front of you. Can you hold for one more breath? Exhale. Highlight. Can you hold for one more breath? Inhale. Exhale. Low, all the way down. Coming back into that Malasana. Whatever that looks like for you, maybe your toes are up. Well, your toes won't be up. Maybe your heels are up. Maybe your hips are further up. And then next exhale, folding over the legs, forward fold. Walking those feet back in line with the hips, feet hips distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift, long and straight through the spine. Exhale, planting hands, stepping the right foot back, stepping the left foot back, coming into your high plank. Setting up, finding that rock solid stability in your high plank. We're going to be coming through chaturanga, so whichever one works for you. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, bringing the weight forward, gazes to the top of the mat. Exhale, lowering the elbows, coming to that halfway point, that half chaturanga. Inhale, coming through into your low cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale, coming back, finding your way, making your own journey to that downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I think that's one of my favourite words in yoga, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And just pedaling out the feet here as much as you need. Nice deep bend in one knee, nice deep bend in the other. Before finding your way to that stable downward facing dog. If the heels are up, if the knees are bent, this is going to look very different on everybody. And inhaling, the right leg lifts. Exhale, high onto the ball of that left foot, bringing the right knee in towards the nose. Can you be a teeny tiny ball? Your shoulders are moving over your wrists before stepping that right foot up in between the hands. Inhale, high onto the balls of the fingertips. High onto the fingertips. And walking the right foot out towards the right side of the room, bringing the palms flat. Hands can be onto bricks if that feels better for you. And then either keeping that left knee lifted or lowering left knee down. It is going to create more engagement in that back left leg if the knee is lifted. And then bringing the right hand to the inside of the right knee. And just seeing if you can open that knee out towards the side, finding a bit more space in that hip. I quite like to move back and forward on the ball of my left foot. Staying with the breath, inhale and exhale. Now removing the hand, but seeing if you can keep that engagement in the thigh, if you can keep that engagement in the glute, and keep that left knee open. Inhaling as the right hand comes up. If you have had that back knee down, lifting that knee up now. Inhale. And exhale, coming onto the outside edge of both feet, finding a twisty lizard lunge. Oh yeah. Inhale. Exhale, with control, engaging the core, lifting that right foot up as we step it back, finding your side plank. Now if this is too much onto the wrist, we can bring that left elbow down. Other option here is bending that bottom knee, so the bottom knee is taking more of the weight of the pose. Wherever you are, finding your version of side plank, lifting the hips up if you can. Maybe gaze goes towards that top thumb. Inhale and exhale. Next, inhale. If you have had that knee down, bringing that left leg in to meet the right, everyone finding that high side plank. Inhale, the right leg lifts, bending right knee in towards the chest, and how slowly, with how much control, can you step that right foot to the top of the mat? If it takes a little bit to get there, absolutely fine. Inhale, finding that low lunge. So we're really going to work our glutes here. Get ready. High on the ball of that left foot, really pushing that left heel away from the ground. Inhale, maybe you come onto the very fingertips of both hands, keeping the bend into that right knee. Now either staying here, looking towards the top of the mat, navel to spine, engaging through the body, or inhale, bringing both arms up in line with the ears. Oh, hello glutes, I feel you. That right hip is going back as that left hip is going forward. Stay with your breath, keep breathing. Inhale, exhale, one more inhale here, one more exhale here, I feel it too. Inhale, launching yourself off that left leg, hugging left knee into the chest. Well done, that is not easy, and I feel it in the butt. Hugging left knee in, shoulders down and away from the ears. Now, options here, you can keep that left leg bent, or if you do have the flexibility, straighten the left leg, taking the peace fingers around the big toe. You can also use a strap to do this if you do want to have that leg extended. Bringing the hand into the hip Now if your leg is bent, bringing the left hand to the inside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, taking left knee out towards the left. If we've got the toe grab, left leg, oh hello curtain, out towards the left. Inhale, staying tall through the chest. And exhale. Maybe right hand comes out, maybe gaze goes out over right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, coming back in through centre. Hugging that left knee into chest. Might be feeling it in your right glute right now. Then, on your next inhale, bringing hands up above the head and extending that left leg out wherever it goes. If you're down here, that's fine. Just seeing how high you can get that leg without sending the torso back. Core is engaged, glutes are engaged. You're going tall from that stable core, and then you are lifting that left leg up. Shoulders are away from the ears for 5, for 4, for 3. Can you lift it a little bit higher? For 2, for 1. Look at the leg tremors. Woo! Lowering that left leg down to meet the right. Woo! Taking nice little bendies in the knees. Rolling the shoulders up away from the ears, coming back to that Tadasana, that mountain pose, that moment of stillness, that moment of calm. Come back to the breath. Round 2, other side. Inhale, both arms lift, gaze follows thumbs. Exhale, hinging and folding over the legs, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, long and straight through the spine. Exhale, planting hands, jump, step or float to find your high plank. Inhale, really setting up in your high plank, knees down or knees lifted, whichever suits you. Exhale, bringing the weight forward, look forward, bending the elbows, hugging elbows in towards the chest, finding that halfway point. Inhale, finding your back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Or taking a child's pose here if that feels good for you. But we're not here for very long. Just finding that reset, finding that pause. And if you're in child's pose, coming back to meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, the left foot lifts. Exhale, high on the ball of that right foot, bringing the left knee towards the nose. Can your nose touch your knee? Then stepping the foot in between the hands with control. If it does take a few little shifties to get there, that's all good. Then walking the left foot to the left edge of the mat as you bring both hands to the inside of that left foot. Right knee can be down, right knee can be lifted, yogi's choice. Then just turning the left toes slightly out towards the left edge of the mat, bringing the left knee to the inside, left hand to the inside of the left knee. Really rooting through that grounded hand. Elbow and shoulder above the wrist. Again, I like to find a little movement here. Yoga poses don't always need to be static. Using the breath, finding that space within the left hip. Keeping the belly to the spine here. Then if that back knee is lowered, lifting the knee. Inhaling the left arm up towards the sky. But seeing if you can keep as if someone was pushing that left knee out. So finding that engagement, finding that connection with the muscles, with the ligaments and the tendons here. Then on the next inhale, coming onto the outside edge of both feet, finding that lizard twist. This is one of my favourites. So we're getting right into the IT bands. Hello. Inhale. Exhale, with control, really rooting in through that grounded hand, lifting the left foot up as we step back, finding our side plank. Now, if you need to come into a supported side plank, that right knee comes down to the ground and you find that stabilization here. This is still building strength. If you are happy in your side plank, but it's a bit wonky on your wrist, come down, right elbow to the ground. Lifting the hips up, finding that strength, finding that stability. Maybe gaze goes up towards the thumbs. Then wherever you are, Finding your way into that full side plank. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, bending the left knee, looking towards the top of the mat, engaging through the core. How slowly and with how much control can you start to square the hips, coming onto the ball of the back foot to step that left foot up. Woohoo! And if you didn't quite get there that time, don't worry about it. Just finding your way into a runner's lunge. So squaring through the hips, deep bend into that left knee. You don't want to be collapsing the torso down. Engage and lifted. Finding that activation in the body. Really launching yourself off the heel of that right foot. Maybe you come up onto the fingertips. Now this side can feel quite different to the other, so don't beat yourself up if it's quite different. This is not my easy side. But engaging through the core, lifting that torso off of the leg. Maybe you keep your fingertips on the ground, or maybe you inhale, bringing both arms in line with the ears. Really keeping that activation in the back foot, launching yourself off that right heel, keeping belly away from the spine, away from the chest, looking towards the top of the mat or up in between the hands. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale here. One more exhale here. Then on the next inhale, launching yourself off that back leg. Whoa, to hug the right knee in towards the chest, smashing it. Again, if you needed to step up and then hug the knee into the chest, that also works. And we really just need to bring the knee into the chest here. Finding that grounding in the four corners of the foot on the floor. Bringing left hand to the hip, then either bringing the right hand to the inside of the right knee to inhale, extend, exhale, sending the right knee out towards the right, or taking the two piece fingers and thumb around the big toe, extending the right leg and right heel to the front of the room, and then sending the right foot to the right side of the room. Maybe left fingertips come out to the left, maybe gaze follows left fingertips. No worries if it does not. Finding a point where you can be still. Inhale, hugging that right knee in towards the chest. Really hugging that knee in. Exhale here, you know where we're going. Inhale, arms come up above the to the sky, and then sending that right foot away from you, wherever that may be. You might be closer to the floor, but keeping that core engaged. How high can you bring that foot? Keeping the navel towards the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Keep your gaze steady, keep your concentration strong. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you lift it a little bit higher? 1. Exhale, releasing. 1. Maybe just taking a bend from knee to knee. Coming back to that Tadasana, that point of stillness. And then quite simply making your way down to the floor. If you do want to take a final vinyasa, so that chaturanga, please feel free to do so. I'm just going to sit all the way back. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Coming into our cobbler's pose. And actually sending the feet slightly further away. So we're going to find a more restorative version of this posture. So inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale, just allowing yourself to fold over the legs. Bringing the forehead towards the feet. I mean, if it seems like a really long way away, you can prop up. But just making your way into that forward fold. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing the body to be heavy and gravity to do the work for you here. And then next last inhale, just easing yourself up, coming to that easy seated pose, bringing hands to the thighs, down for grounding, palms up for energy. I invite you to lower the gaze or close the eyes if you wish. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more like this, in through the nose, let, and out through the mouth, go. And bringing the prayer into the heart space. Thank you so much for your energy, for your time today. I'm really just taking a moment here to thank yourself for showing up for practice today, to thank your body for leading you through a practice today, for supporting you through each and every movement. And maybe just sending that gratitude, that thanks out into the universe. And if you do have time to take a traditional Shavasana lying down on the ground, I please encourage you to do so. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me for today. Namaste.